सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome you all with my love and respects. As you are all aware, I am continuing on Siddha tradition. Today's subject for morning satsang is Greatest Truth Revealed Became an Avatar. I want all of you to know an important truth. This I can make it in a very clear way, in a challenging way. There is no tradition, no spiritual tradition in the world speaks of man becoming an incarnation in that very body except Siddha tradition. All traditions talk only about becoming enlightened. You will be liberated, Jivan Mukta. But Siddha tradition is the only tradition which has studied, mastered the science of making your body capable of radiating that intense experience after becoming enlightened. Becoming incarnation, becoming an avatar, incarnation. The science is experienced and expressed only in Siddha tradition. No other tradition has done so much research on body. Please understand. On the physical, mental, emotional dimensions you need to have to be an incarnation. Almost all spiritual tradition stops with awakening the non-mechanical parts of your brain. That's all. They stop with it. Siddha tradition is the first science, spiritual science, which has dived deep into the realms of awakening the deeper strands of your very DNA. Making new man is possible only through Siddha tradition. Of course, Siddha tradition is not separate from Vedic tradition. I can say a small secret mystical group which was doing higher parts of research and development in Vedic tradition can be called as Siddha tradition. Nobody has done so much work, so much of research and development. Nobody has revealed so much in the line of awakening the deeper strands of your DNA. Siddha tradition works with such powerful process. Straight away, they work with death to awaken your deeper strands of DNA. Please understand, death is not actually, as you think, something negative. Siddhas have mastered the science, how to use every death to awaken the deeper strands of DNA. Every death can be used to awaken deeper strands of DNA. Please understand. At the time you are disillusioned about the stability of the society, your third level DNA strand can be awakened, because disillusionment about the society creates a deep insecurity in you, and when you face that insecurity, next level of DNA, the very physical structure, physical ability gets awakened in you. I can tell you really, when you face a deep insecurity with the society, you have two choices. Either you can build completely new muscles and new body, or completely get broken, go to pieces. You have two choices. Because when the insecurity is attacked, when the insecurity is awakened in you, if you just go into the death of moment to moment to moment, you will start living more into the conscious state. Living more into the conscious state will awaken the deeper strands of DNA. Third and fourth, same way. If you have a broken heart, if there is a problem you are facing in your life because of some broken relationship, yesterday 2-3 people were telling me, asking me for healing, that they have a broken relationship, their relationship is broken. Please understand, go into that consciously. You will see the deeper level strands of DNA will be awakened in you. You will start living intensely, blissfully with your own body, without the need of other body. The possibility for achieving brahmacharya happens in you when the relationships are broken. Breaking the relationship being broken is the death. Brahmacharya happening is new birth. So every major incident in your life, every death in your life can be used to awaken the deeper level strands of DNA. Siddhas have used this science. Consciously they will put people into the death experience and awaken the deeper strands of DNA and bring them back. They even use sometimes herbs. See, Siddhas use 3 things. Mani, mantra, aushadha. Mani means the truths. Mantra means the technique. Aushadha means herbs, medicines. Siddha masters who used all 3. They will put disciple to death, awaken the deeper strands of DNA and bring him back. Science of becoming an incarnation is expressed in such a detailed way in the Siddha tradition. I tell you, every suffering imposed on you, I am not saying just die with the suffering. No. Live with the suffering. Live it. Suddenly you will see, the moment you live, you start living, deeper strands of DNA starts getting awakened in you. Please understand, I am not saying you will just become emotionally strong. No. Your very body to hold the consciousness will become great and big. Your very system, which has an intense ability, capacity to radiate, will become big. Today we will work on death. Of course, not with medicines. Today we will work on death, but not with medicines, but just with understanding and technique. I can tell you from my own life how each death happened in my life has made me an incarnation. Or I can say, awakened the deeper strands of DNA. The first death I faced in my life, my father's elder brother's son, elder son, he died. He fell into the village well. He went for a vacation to his one of his relatives' house. You all know in Indian villages, if the school holiday, immediately we'll pack and go to some aunt's house, uncle's house, 2-3 days run around there and come back. It's a only way of vacation. He went to a vacation nearby village. My family is a tight-knit family. They don't marry outside the, not even outside community, not even outside the family. They'll marry inside. If you pick up one person, he will have 10 way of relationship with other persons. So, this boy used to be dumb and deaf little. So, he can't speak fluently. He went for vacation and the villages will have a wall, the well without wall. So, this guy was running around and fell into that well and died, unfortunately. So, when his body was brought, first time, it's reality for me, somebody whom you saw till few days before will not be there with you anymore. I can say in a way he was my first devotee. He used to have a great devotion for me. He is the one who will bring water, flowers, everything for my puja. He had a tremendous love and respect for me. Even though I am younger to him, he will bring all the things necessary for my puja, help me in puja, assist me. Very religious person. And I used to give him a lot of attention. I am the only person who can play with him or who can entertain him. You see, in all other play, you need to talk, you need to interact, you need to be equal. But my play is sitting with the deities and playing, doing puja. There you don't need to talk much. And only I will be able to accommodate him in my play. Nobody can accommodate. So I used to have a tremendous love for me and my first assistant, maybe I can say. And a great devotee. Suddenly, he is not there. Apart from my practical problems of who will assist me in my puja and all that, who will fetch me water, who will get me flowers, who will get me sandal paste, then with that only you can do puja. I was thinking, who will do all this work? Such a big shock. The basic understanding that death is inevitable got drilled in me. Actually, I can say, this awakened the sense that I have to be dependent only on me, only on my body and mind for anything I want to do. Society will not be a permanent help. That reality was completely experienced by me. I can say, surely it has awakened a very deep, next level strands of DNA in my body. So, independence. I can say, this was one strong shift in my body. My body has started becoming yogic body. See, my whole idea of depending on somebody was lost. I have to be completely dependent only on the 6 feet frame for anything I have to do. And he was one more close disciple of Raghupati Yogi. Raghupati Yogi was actually working on him to make him speak. I have seen Raghupati Yogi actually made him speak at least on 3 occasions very fluently. But that boy finally asked Raghupati Yogi, no, I think I'll be better if I just live the same way I came, so that I will not have much responsibility in the world. Again, the conscious decision. I have seen Raghupati Yogi made him speak at least on 3 occasions, very fluently. He gave some herbs and asked him to keep on the last part of the teeth and hold. And he started speaking fluently. That funny thing is, holding his teeth, he was speaking fluently. That's the most funny thing. Still I remember, the jaws are completely holding the herb, but he is speaking. he is able to create the sounds very properly, very clearly. That was the most funny part. Still I am not able to understand how Raghupati Yogi made it. Anyhow, the first death, that is responsible for my body becoming yogic body. So God, because He used to bring me the Nagalinga flowers, which will grow, the flowers will happen in the tree, at least some 6-7 feet high. He is little taller than me, he will climb that tree and get that flower. The flower will be like a 1,000 hooded snake, and inside there will be Shivalinga. It's called Nagalinga flower. So he used to climb the tree and bring the flower. First time I realized, oh God, now I have to climb by myself. Even though Raghupati Yogi has trained me, climbing pillars and all that, the necessity to become an independent yogic body has happened in me with that first death. The second death was my grandmother's, my grandfather's elder brother's wife. She lived the ripe age of more than 103. And till the end, very healthy. The funny part in this is, please understand, the most funny part in this is, all these deaths I am describing happened like a process, one by one. Now if I look back, it was such a great preparation. How the cosmos was making incarnation. Actually, I myself enjoy that story. I am writing an autobiography. I do not know whether somebody else is enjoying or not, going to enjoy or not. I myself intensely enjoying. Oh God, what a play! What a leela happening. It's such powerful truth, such powerful incidents, played so beautifully, such a coordinated way. The next death, my grandmother's death, that has given me the lesson of society cannot be trusted, and it is not a structure as it is believed by you. Father is not a father, mother is not a mother, uncle is not uncle, aunt is not aunt. Things can be completely different. See, first time I realized people can talk one thing and think something else. I never understood you can think something and talk something else. First time I realized during my grandmother's death how people behaved. I saw, see, she died, and there used to be a doctor opposite to my house, very nice person. This old lady, our house had a big well in the center. In villages, you know, the common wells will be there in center of the houses. So in my whole street, this is the only well which can give water during summer. During summer, all other wells will dry up. So this poor doctor, during summer, he has to come only to this well for water. And in villages, it's like they will water and food and all is practically any house you can go and eat. I have seen, at least when we were born and brought up, that we all kids will go to any house and eat in that 30, 40 houses. It will be aunt, uncle, father, father's brother, brothers, in-laws, sisters, husband. Some way it will be related. And so this doctor also has to come here for the water. This old lady who died, my grandmother, she had a strong belief that after the sunset, the needle, water, fire, all these three should not be given. So, for some urgent thing, after sunset, if they come for the water, this lady will shout and she will take away that vessel with which they fetch water from the well and hide it. Once the doctor came for very important, urgent reason, emergency for water, this lady did not give. She quoted that proverb, needle, water and fire should not be taken out of the house after the sunset. It's a village belief. So, the day before she died, it was late night. She had some problem. She need to have injection. Some injection. So the doctor was called. The doctor came and checked everything and he said injection has to be given. Then that old lady said, go and bring from your house. An opposite house. This doctor said, you only used to tell water, needle and fire cannot be brought outside the house. After the sunset, how can I bring? That old lady could say neither say yes nor say no. She said, no, somehow save me, save me. Then finally the doctor is a good person. He went and brought and did whatever he can, but he couldn't save naturally because she's too old. And next day she passed away. I just remembered, oh God, this lady to whom she's not giving, but that guy is giving so much. That's one understanding. Second, when the death was declared, I saw my family people, they were all sitting and they were all very normal, happy, actually waiting for her to die because she had a lot of money, jewelries. Those days, that silver coin, in India we had a habit of silver coin, pre-independence, silver coins. Lot of those coins she had under her bed in a trunk box. So now all these fellows will get a share. But she herself did not have any kids, but her brothers and their kids, many, and finally each one will get one, maybe little. But they were all waiting for their share. They were waiting for her death. The moment she died, I saw these fellows were very cool. They did not cry immediately. They went to their rooms. Each one will be given one own room, usually in the joint families. They all went to their rooms and changed the dress, put on very simple clothes, removed all the costly jewels and put on simple jewels, came and assembled in the hall, center hall, as if like a scene. And the first one say, start. Oh, they started crying. It's almost like a Divya Shariri. The moment I say, they start jumping. And they start. I thought, oh God. I thought the pain or the suffering will come immediately. The moment you say, she has died, but these guys all went and did removed their makeup and they all opened their hair, almost preparation for the whole scene. And I remember some of the ladies, they wiped all the powder and eyeliner, whatever they had. They came and sat in round circle and, oh, Pati, you left us and went away. Oh, Granny, you left us and went away. They started, I couldn't understand. Oh, God. Just 1 minute before, they were all right. And the doctor declared at least 20 minutes before she is dead. How come 20 minutes, no pain, no suffering, no crying came out? Till all of them went to their rooms and changed their clothes and came back. And they were even waiting for somebody to arrive. So they all waited. When the last one arrived, then they started, "Oh, Granny, you left us and went away." There is a typical song. I thought, oh God. Anyhow, I was not able to cry. I was feeling sad because I missed my candy every day. Every day she will give me one job. She will tell me to go and bring tobacco from the corner shop in the street. Every corner in the street, she will ask me to go and bring tobacco for chewing. She will not give money. She will tell, take from your father. My father is a spendthrift. That is the right word I have to say. And he and money can't go hand in hand. Anybody asks anything, you will give away. You don't need to ask second time. Only once you need to tell him, you are in suffering, and he will give it away. And he will give me the money, and I will get tobacco for her and candy for me. And from today, no candy, because she is gone. And I was only feeling bad for that, but I was not crying. I know all these fellows are trying to fake that crying. I slowly started laughing. Oh God. I'm a small boy, 10-year-old boy maybe. I went and leaned on my mother's back. Still I remember very clearly. They were all sitting like around and they were putting their hand on each other and bending and going up and down. That is the way they cry. Oh Granny, you left us and went away. That is the way they cry. I am giving you the exact scene. And then after 2-3 times you shout that clean the nose and wipe on the back, somebody's backside sari, somebody's pallu. And then, oh, the milk which we boiled for yesterday got spoiled. That's all verses. And the buttermilk which we kept for you is drank by the cat. Then we realized you are not going to be here to drink that milk, to drink that buttermilk. These are all, I am giving the exact translation of the village verses. When somebody dies, how they sing, it's called Oppari in Tamil. And then after a few minutes, when it becomes tired, you see how many times you will bend and up and down, up and down. And after a few minutes, they will sit and they will wipe their face and they will talk. What happened to your mother-in-law? She did not come. Hey, this saree I never saw. Where did you buy? And they will be talking all very relaxed way. If some new relative comes, then, oh mama, our granny went away, leaving us. And that guy also will take the kerchief very seriously. We don't know whether he is hiding his laughter or crying. No, really, see, really, how many of you felt when you went to a death house feeling like laughing? Raise your hand. See? But you can't laugh there. What to do? Take the kerchief and hide the face. No, I saw the whole fun happening. And I was actually leaning on my mother's back. She was doing that same exercise of up and down. Now I remember leaning on her back and holding her head. Ma, you were not crying earlier. I asked, hey, she said, hey, keep quiet. Now cry. Then I peeped my head between the heads and looked into my aunt's face. She also, when she comes up, she is showing the face. When she goes down, she's okay. When she was going down, she's okay. She's just wiping the face and she's not showing any face. When she comes up, when others are able to see, she starts crying. I thought, oh God, how can this be? And still I remember very clearly all the scenes, very vividly. And these guys were not crying earlier, now they are crying. How can this sudden? And not only that, after a few minutes they settle down and only when the new relative comes, again the bust. And that guy also will sit in that circle and he will say, okay, what to do? After all, she lived her life completely. And then after 2 minutes, he will wipe the face and then ask, so everything, what else is going on? What is growing in the land, in that farmland? Is all the properties in our name or shifted to somebody else's name? They'll start inquiring. And after dropping that body, after 1 hour I saw all these fellows got into our room and locked themselves. And I also somehow sneaked into the room. I saw they are sharing the wealth under our bed. Now the fight started among the family. Who will get that? She had a Pavala mala, the pearl mala. Who will get that mala? Who will get this coin? Who will get that jewelry? Who will get this jewelry? And they are cutting all that mala and jewels into pieces and weighing. And dead body is lying down in the hall. But already the sharing has started. When I looked at all that, I thought, oh God, this lady had so much under her cot and she will never give a penny for the tobacco. First thing I thought, if she would have given a little bit of this, I would have given it to the chettiar, and whole life she would have had tobacco and I would have had candy. And neither she enjoyed nor she gave me, and she just left the whole thing and died. Then I suddenly realized, even these fellows who are fighting and sharing, they are also going to live and die like this. Same thing is going to happen. They take from her after her death. Somebody else is going to take from these guys after these guys' death. I thought, oh God, that's right. So, what is the use of this whole thing? Then what is happening in this whole thing? Just somebody steals from somebody, legally or illegally. But it is all just stealing. If you are caught, it's illegal. If you are not, it is legal. That's all. Otherwise, from here to there, it's all just stolen. Nothing else. First time, my idea about society crumbled down. Because one of my uncle was forcing me. I cry. I said, no, I don't feel like crying. He said, no, everybody is coming, cry. I said, no, I won't. Then he slapped me. I just held his hand and said, if you touch me once more, I'll tell everybody what all you guys did in the room. Fighting for our jewels. Then my father intervened and said, this fellow will really tell. Why are you playing with him? Why are you beating him at this moment? He will really sit outside and tell everybody before they come inside. Then they understood the danger. They put me in a room and locked me. They locked that room. I was inside that room. I can say, I cried for maybe half an hour or 1 hour. Then when I just fell, it was a big opening, a kind of a breaking. My whole being settled. My respect for society has disappeared. Awakening of the deeper strands of DNA. This death has made Vedic mind happen in me. The first death has made yogic body happen in me. This death has made Vedic mind happen in me. I have to be independent mentally. There is no such thing as straightforwardness, honesty, innocence, thinking and talking it as it is. That was the first revelation for me. It was a strong revelation because I always thought thinking and talking is one and the same. I was feeling sad only for my candy. So I was telling that same thing to everybody. There is no hide and seek or double things. First time I realized people can think something else and speak something else. It was such a big revelation for me. So the next strand of DNA was awakened in me, in my system. I realized I should have the Vedic mind, means independent mind, untouched. I can say that Vedic mind happened in me on that day. Means keeping myself away from society. I have a space inside which is completely untouched by all circumstances outside. And I don't have the desire to go here, there or anything, to see anything. Just because I don't have desire to see anything, thousands to come to see me. Understand? When that desire has disappeared, I become worthy of being seen by people, or people naturally have the interest to see me. So I don't go out to see anything. Actually, I have nothing to enjoy in the life. Maybe if I enjoy something in the life, when I see the devotion in the eyes of the disciples when they see me, that scene I enjoy, that's all. That I don't need to go anywhere. Wherever I sit, I have that scene only in front of me all the time. Millions sitting continuously in complete melting mood. So this is the only scene. If at all I enjoy, I enjoy.